if you gaze into the future, you might think life would be a breeze.
Hey guys, it's Cobinho, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Making Sense with Cobinho. This is where we'll talk about random thoughts on random topics. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Making Sense with Cobinho. As you all know, I'm the host of this podcast, and I'd like to let you guys know that we will throw it back again today. I don't know if you remember from season 1, we did throwback music, so a lot of you enjoyed that episode, that topic. A lot of you, agreed with our music choices. But this time we will go to TV program, TV shows. And without further ado, let's welcome our guest, Karl Pasamonte. Carlo.
Hello.
Hello, Carlo.
Today we're going to throw it back, mate.
We're back,
Throwing
Cleo.
it back.
Let's welcome Cleo.
Cleo's back.
So I don't know if you guys, for those who were not able to watch or listen to the episode from season 1, Karl was my guest. I think it was episode 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
episode 4.
Episode 4. So this time we'll talk about TV shows instead of music. So I'm very excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll just feel old,
Oh my days! We're gonna get judged by all the Gen Zs.
Oh yeah.
And they're just gonna call us boomers because we're about to list some things that they're like, what?
Yeah. But before that, obviously, I asked all my guests, "How are you? How's everything?"
I'm good. It's been a while.
I know. I haven't talked to you for so long.
Exactly. It's not like I haven't talked to you for so long. One day we'll just record us just playing and just talking because we come up with the most. We actually came up with this. Yeah.
You know what I think? I think we should Twitch sometime.
Yeah. Maybe even YouTube live. That'd be interesting. Yeah.
All right, so let's go into our first segment. So our first segment is about our experiences and how the shows that we've watched growing up has influenced us and maybe has helped change ourselves really to what we are now. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I hope they do. Yeah. So TV is, I guess you could say it's like way, way, way back before we had YouTube, before we had Netflix, before we had on-demand TV.
Before we had internet, really.
Before we had internet. Our entertainment at home was literally just a big box, square, fat box that I used to have. And literally you sit in front of the TV for like hours and hours just watching whatever comes on. And we probably have different experiences because obviously I was born here. I think Calvin was born in the Philippines. So we all have different experiences growing up. But I remember just my first earliest memory of TV would probably be Barney. Like, not gonna lie, that show was lit. Know all the songs. I Love You, You Love Me. That's a banger. But yeah, I just sitting in front of the TV, sitting too close to the TV. That's one thing. But I never got glasses, so haha, take that, people.
I didn't get glasses.
Because literally, I just stand in front of the TV and just be like,
yeah.
And then they're just like, sit. You're too forward. Sit back. And I'm just there like, just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the kids nowadays, they don't know the privilege that they have. I remember TV programs, TV show cartoons. It reminds me of Saturday morning. Saturday no school, and I still try my best. I remember because I didn't have any alarm clocks back then when I was a kid, and I always wanted to watch this cartoon. Saturday morning, but it's like
Mm.
at like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm just, cause there's no alarm clock, right? I was
Yeah.
like praying. I was like, please, please. I was like, please, God, wake me up at 7 a.m.
So you
And
prepare
then,
for this.
yeah, and I would wake up at 9. I'm like, no, I missed it.
Oh man, there was so many. I think I from a lot of just watching what my parents watched, like back then. Do you remember when we couldn't even pause TV? Do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
before
that
Sky?
was.
Sky, they didn't even know Sky. These people don't know what Sky Plus is. We
I didn't
watched.
even have Sky because when I was a kid, we didn't have cable. So I
Yeah,
only had the opportunity to watch like cable shows like Cartoon Network, Disney Channel. Well, Disney Channel wasn't even around back
yeah. It
then.
wasn't even around then. It was
It
just Cartoon
was, yeah,
Network.
Cartoon Network. I only had the chance to watch those shows, watch that channel, whenever I'm around my grandma's.
Yeah. Oh, that's the same with
But
me
that's only like
actually.
once a week. So um, yeah, no,
Yeah, I do. My oh man, like fondest memory would be like to. I used to love was it Recess, right? And it would only come on a certain time, and then I'm like, it's only going to show for this half an hour,
yeah.
and then this one time I just really needed to go toilet, and then I'm literally just there, and I'm like, oh no, I need to go toilet, but I want to watch this. It's interesting. You remember the one where like Mikey sings in the toilet? Do you remember?
No,
No, Reese. Oh man, for those who know, it's like Mikey. You know the big guy who
yeah.
eats the huge sandwich. He can sing and he's got a voice, and it got so
Oh,
interesting.
is it?
Yeah, and I
I
was
don't
just
think I've
there,
seen
and
that
I
episode.
was just like holding down there. You know what I'm talking about? And I was like, and then my mom would just be like, "Go to the toilet," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, I don't want to."
Oh
And
my
because you
days.
couldn't pause TV like you
Yeah.
do now, you couldn't just press pause and be like, okay, or something. I'd just be there like, and
Um.
then I had to run up to the toilet like in the ad break. Oh man.
One of the experience, I guess, with one of how it has influenced me.
Hmm.
Um. Like I said, repeating back from what I said earlier about the kids nowadays, the
Yeah.
youths nowadays having the privilege of having internet. Back then, there's no Crunchyroll, right?
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
whatever we had, especially I was in the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
so we had animes,
Yeah.
but 90% of them is dubbed, well, was dubbed in Filipino, in Tagalog.
Yeah. Oh, that was like us too.
So yeah, it was weird, but so I did grow up watching animes, but it's not in terms of watching episode by episode,
Yeah.
because it was just watching whenever it's on, and sometimes the timeline of this episode, it wasn't like correct. They were just playing random episode.
Oh, so you didn't have like it's this episode and then the next thing that
No.
happened. So like for Dragon Ball, it's like, oh, he like Frieza's dead, but then suddenly goes to Goku's just born, something like that. Like it's just some random
Yeah. Well, for
placings.
me, it was like whenever I get the chance to watch Steve anyway. So they probably played it, but I didn't get the chance to.
Yeah.
But I did watch Dragon Ball. So watching anime early on
Mm.
has influenced me into having to visiting Japan as my one of my goals, which
Yeah.
I've mentioned so many times, I have managed to do it. Um, 2 years ago. So I was
Yeah.
like so happy, and it was just so. If you're a huge fan of animes, um, I highly recommend visiting Japan once in your life, because it's just. Do you
Yeah.
remember the time when you felt the need to transition from cartoons to adult shows?
Yes. Especially, when I think it was secondary school. So when you hit secondary school, you thought you were cool year 6, and then year 7, your friends start talking about other things and more
EastEnders.
grown up. Junior EastEnders, Waterloo Road. Yeah, I know some
Warley
of you
Road.
watched that. I know some of you watched that. I know, like,
I watched
and
Warley
and
Road.
um and Hollyoaks and stuff like that. So they thought they were grown up, and
You know what? I tried my best, right? I was like, oh, these people are watching like War of the Road, so I watched War of the Road, like, and I was just like, I was like really forcing myself, like telling myself, Calvin, you like this, you like this. I'm just like, I like it. No, I don't.
And then
I
you
want
have
to
to
watch Power
pretend,
Rangers.
yeah. And then you have to like proper pretend like you
Yeah.
watch it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And EastEnders as well. And they're proper like, oh, I guess it's like, oh, do you think, oh, I slept with this person? And I, obviously being young, we still didn't know the term and stuff.
Yeah.
When he's like, I sleep around schleg and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And you just say it to people as well. And he's like, you schleg. But like, you're an innocent kid, right? And then you go from cartoons, but you want to try and hide what you watch. Because in my school, it didn't seem cool to like Pokemon anymore.
Is
Like,
it?
like when they come in with someone in my form came in with a kind of like lunchbox, and it was Pokemon, and then my friends were like, oh, that's a baby show, and I'm
Is
like,
it?
yeah, that's a baby show. Yeah, it's not.
Really? Another. I just want to quickly say a story um, before we move on to the next segment.
Yeah,
So I think I want to give a shout out to my cousin Kyle.
yeah.
I remember when he was a kid. So he annoys me. He was so annoying when he was a kid, right? And you know what I would do, right? What I would do when he annoys me, I would tell him like, the were rabbit is gonna come get you.
The Were Rabbit, is that Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was traumatized.
oh my thing.
Yeah. Growing up, he was traumatized by
Oh.
the were rabbit.
Oh man, that's just, yeah. Do you remember when things used to scare you, like Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Courage.
Oh, Courage
Yeah.
is so scary. It would show at nighttime. If you guys haven't seen it, it's scary for what it is for a kids show. Do you remember the episode Return the Slab? I think
Yeah.
basically it's this there's this weird figure that come, and this
Yeah.
happened. Courage is always like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. That's bedtime for some kids, yeah. And there's just this like figure in the background, like, and it just slowly comes closer, and it's 10 times as scary as anything that comes up nowadays. And then as a kid, I just remember it's just this skeleton, and he's just going, "Return the slab."
Yeah.
And
I was scared watching that.
yeah, I'd want to change the
It's
channel.
it's like it's like one of those shows before the what is that thing? You know, in Cartoon Network they have like an adult show.
Oh,
Adult
Toonami.
Swim or something.
Adult Swim, yeah.
Yeah.
Toonami,
I
Adult
was just
Swim,
like,
yeah.
oh no, Adult Swim's coming. I have to turn off the TV.
It's gonna be naughty things where it's just like Darna and King of the Hill and stuff.
It's
like,
just it's just some adult humor, but it's
yeah,
like,
Boondocks.
I was just like, oh no, I don't want to be caught watching Adult Swim. So for our second segment, we're just going to be listing um, throwback shows, throwback
yeah,
cartoons, throwback anime, throwback drama that comes off from our heads. The first, I'll give the first one because I remember watching. It reminds me of weekday afternoon in the Philippines, especially weekday afternoon in the Philippines is like scorching hot, right? It's like 40 degrees. I watch it inside with the aircon. It's Looney Tunes.
oh yes,
Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes?
Looney
I
Tunes,
actually don't remember. But yeah,
Looney Tunes, yeah.
I used to watch like with Roadrunner, like Meet Me. Yeah, that throwback.
I'm sure a lot of the adults know this. I'm sure you know this. Big Bear in the Big Blue House.
Yes.
Oh my. I remember that show. I used to watch it with my younger sister, and the songs, it's just all like, if we give you like the synopsis of a bear inside a big blue house, and he has a rat for a friend. He talks to a shadow girl, and at the end of the show, he talks to the moon, and you'd be like,
No,
what are
he
you
sings to
talking
the
about?
moon.
You have to be. It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, check it out. Like for those who haven't seen that, it's so good. Just at least goodbye, good friends, goodbye with Luna, the duet.
Yeah. We recommend that ending song.
Yeah.
Another one of my throwback shows. It's I guess it's close to me because it's part of my kind of like childhood.
Mm.
Because whenever I'm over at my grandma's, all my uncles, all my aunties, they know that all of us, all the cousins, watch this cartoon. So
Yeah.
whenever it's on, they will call everyone to watch it. It was Popeye,
Oh, Popeye the
The
Sailor
Sailor. I
Man.
was like the Sailor Moon.
The Sailor Moon.
No, Popeye
You're
the
mixing two
Sailor.
different things, man.
No, Popeye the Sailor Man. Yeah, when he eats the spinach and then with olive. I remember back then because in the Philippines there's Popeyes, the
Yeah.
chicken restaurant.
Yeah.
So when we first saw the restaurant, we were like so excited. And then when we got in there, I was like, "There's no Popeye in
There's
here.
no spinach. There's no
There's no olive oil."
there's no olive oil. Oh man. For me, and I think the whole genre of CITV is like when I was just a bit older, and just getting used to like kind of the British shows, and a lot of good ones came out of there. But a huge one for me, I think there's two. I'll put two in this like one, but Jungle Run.
Yeah.
Jungle Run, if you guys remember that game show with the kids and the monkeys, and Art Attack. So those two, one after the other, after coming home from school, and then just 4 o'clock, just putting on like CITV, and just like with Jungle Run, it taught me that if your friend gets stuck in a maze, don't save him. I just leave him there. Like I used to think that they actually stayed there, and I was like, oh, what's gonna happen to the kid? And then it says you have to use 2 of your silver monkey statues to save him. And then I'm like, don't do it. Don't save him. You can get the prize for yourself. And then Art Attack was my first, obviously getting into art before secondary school, and I would try to follow along as well. So I remember putting the paint with the water and then blowing it with the straw to make a tree. And then I wanted to make the mask, but my mom never bought PVA glue. We're too much of a cheapskate. So when they say, yeah, when they're like, please get your paper and your paper mache and your PVA glue and then cover it, and then that's when I have to stop. So I felt so sad. I got half-made masks and cards because I didn't have PVA glue. So
I totally relate to that because like when I was a kid, the only materials I had was pencil, paper, and broken Crayola, like crayons.
Yeah.
So, and then there was one time I was just like, I'm definitely gonna make it. So, do you remember the statue, the talking statue?
Yeah, the head. That's just like.
Yeah. So there was like one segment of the show where he was teaching about like paper mache and stuff.
Yeah.
So I took like a roll of tissue and then I got like I think my mom's glue or something.
Yeah.
I started doing it. I got told off for wasting. Yeah, I got thrown off. I was like, okay, I'm never gonna do it again.
Also, you got like rolls of tissue and tried to do it.
Tried to do paper mache, you know. But
man, it's always that paper mache, and I never got to like complete anything.
Yeah, I remember watching this Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Early morning. It was Bananas and Pajamas.
That was early Saturday morning.
B1 and B2.
B1 and B2, and then Bananas in Pajamas. They're coming down the stairs.
I don't know. It was just such a weird show, but I loved it. You know, it's just when you're a kid, when you think back, you're just like, how did I like this show? But it's just really like, I looked up to them, to those bananas.
There's so many of there's so many of these shows that I know everyone's gonna be like, wow, remember that. Um for me, Simpsons was huge. I
Yeah.
think that was my more adulty
Yeah.
cartoon. Um and I know it's different now. I know season like it's on season whatever it is, 30, 20, whatever. It's like
Still ongoing, yeah.
but it's still ongoing, but it's not the same as like the earlier Simpsons. And I know they
Yeah.
can't get away with the jokes nowadays, but I my I don't know. There's just too many funny ones in the Simpsons. I can't think of like a specific moment, but
Specific
just the
one because there's
whole.
so many. But it's just
Yeah,
sometimes it's just so. I remember watching Simpson at like um 1 a.m. in the morning. It's just me and my older brother and my younger
yeah,
brother while my parents are sleeping, and it was just kind of like just that, like, with your midnight snack and you're
yeah,
eating. It was just a good time.
yeah. I like the Simpsons. It was very. It said some. There was some like some jokes that I only understand now as a
Yeah.
as growing up. But then back then it was just you were a kid and you were like, I want to be as cool as Bart. I've got an annoying sister, and like yeah, just trying to relate to that family. So yeah.
One of the shows that influenced my kind of style or of drawings, because
Yeah.
when I draw, I'm more into um, when I freestyle drawing. Sorry, when I freeze trial.
Are you sure?
Oh, are you going for that now?
Yeah. All
Okay,
right. Let's
well,
cut.
I'll,
Let's.
I'll pause it. I'll pause it. Right. So one of the shows or anime. No, it wasn't really anime. It was a cartoon. One of the cartoons that really influenced my style of drawing.
Mm.
So my early days of my art was I really enjoyed drawing like fantasy, like powers, kind of that.
That
So
mystical, like
yeah, so
yeah.
the one that really like influenced it was He-Man. He-Man.
Oh, old school
You know,
He-Man, Master, and then
yeah. So I was like really like mind blown. I was like, that's the coolest. You know,
oh
uh,
man,
it was a show that I really enjoyed. Those kind of like early '90s. It wasn't anime. It was like this kind of
it
like
was like
teen
Teen Titan,
cartoons.
yeah,
You
Teen.
know.
Oh man, I loved like especially like superheroes. And nowadays everything's live action, right? Like the
Yeah.
Marvel universe. But I used to watch X-Men, like the cartoon,
Yeah.
and Teen Titans and
Teen
stuff. And
Titans.
I have a good kind of story. Like I don't know where in this lockdown this happened, but I remember my little cousins, so Aaron and Ren, shout out to you two. And they were I don't know, they were just gamers and I didn't know them. And then uh someday, like when I don't know, I think it was like before lockdown or after lockdown, I have no idea. But then they started just saying anime stuff and being like,
Yeah.
Kuya, do you even watch what's that one? That Jotaro. That
Totoro.
yeah, like do you even watch this? You don't even watch like Haikyuu and stuff.
Eren Yeager.
And yeah, and they're proper like, oh, last season of Attack on Titan. But then I
Yeah.
look at them and I'm like, have you even watched Air Gear? Have you even watched Bleach?
Yeah.
Have you even watched Cowboy Bebop?
that was the
Like
classic.
exactly the classic.
I want to go back to the question I asked you earlier,
Yeah,
which was about um, the time where you started watching kind of like
more adult.
yeah, adulty kind of. Well, for me, where I transitioned from cartoons to like live action kind of like TV show.
Yeah.
I remember, That's So Raven. My parents are Alien.
Oh my days.
Our Sweet Life. Um, all those good ones. What else are there? All those like Nickelodeon, H2O, Cleo.
Oh my H2O guys, like legit. If you want to know what Australia is actually like, Cleo can tell you.
Cleo. She's scared
Yeah,
of condensation.
it's got condensation, mate.
Oh, the water.
Yeah, I think that was my first I was already like kind of a bit older, but it was my sister that was more like getting into
Yeah,
the Disney era of like Hannah Montana,
yeah,
um, all of that, Sunny with a Chance, like all just the random TV shows that are on Disney.
yeah.
And back then we thought it was like kind of cool, but if you look at it, how corny it was.
It was corny, yeah.
Yeah, Victorious, like all like it's like some of your Ariana Grande, big crush. From then till now, like what's the difference? Like there's so many differences, but how did you feel about what we had more in the future and what we were watching in the past, actually?
What about like shows, for example, the new shows now?
Yeah, new shows now compared to
I
old
just think
shows.
I see a lot of on the internet. I see a lot of like debates, kind of like, oh, the shows that are showing now is not the same as showing before, blah blah.
Yeah,
But I think I agree with what you said. Because we've just grown and we've changed our perspective.
yeah,
But I would think like if we were kind of like we're a kid watching the new shows now,
yeah,
it would just be like the same as you know before. But it's because I think we're older now. We just think they're like really
yeah.
bad. It
That's
doesn't
why we're boomers,
it doesn't compare to what we remember. Because
Yeah,
if you watch like That's So Raven now, I remember I rewatched That's So Raven because in
yeah,
my memory it was like the best show.
yeah,
I rewatch it, I'm just like I'm bored of it because like yeah, I guess I'm grown, but it's because our memories of it is what makes it like our memories
makes
of
it
the
good.
yeah, I
Yeah,
remember the memories that we had like of it, of us like laughing at it, you
yeah,
know that's what makes it good. But when we rewatch it, and because the humor is not for us anymore
yeah.
because
It's
we're
for
old,
them.
yeah, we
Like,
don't find it funny, we'll get bored. So I
yeah,
think that's like my observation of it, the answer to people's debates of whether the new shows now is so different from before. I just think it's just the same, it's just we don't have the humor now, so I think.
yeah. That's true. That's true. And it's more, guess, because how I see it is, the shows like, for example, on Cartoon Network is like regular show, Adventure Time. It's like you're on a hallucinogenic trip. When you watch these shows, you're like, what is happening? But back then we had like messages of like family and apart. Well, fair enough. Like Dexter's Lab, like omelette du fromage, like when he just learned that one French
Yeah.
thing,
Oh,
and just there's so many, and recess as well. It taught you things, and
yeah.
maybe it does. I think Adventure Time, there's some like kind of like
No, but like
underlying meanings.
if you think
But
about it, we had like weird shows back then as well.
yeah,
Eden and Eddie, that show was just like a whole what is going on, you
I've
know?
got an even better one for you. Cow and chicken.
Wait, what's the phrase? What's the phrase?
Mama had a cow. Mama had a chicken. Didn't know how.
And then the androgynous demon thing.
Oh, in Powerpuff Girls.
Hey, Sam Powerpuff Girls.
No,
No,
oh
there's
no,
two.
that's in
There's
in
two.
Cow and Chicken. Yeah,
Yeah, there's one.
the devil guy with the big tummy, and he looks like a sausage.
Yeah, he's just like he's naked or something. I don't know what's up with like.
Like, put it up here so they know what we're talking about.
I don't know what's going on with like the characters back then, but it was just like it was normal, I guess, for us.
Yeah, I guess.
So I think yeah, we had a bit of a fair share of weird stuff.
Okay, I get you with that.
Cow and chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken. So for audience participation, as you all know, we'd like to include you guys in the topic. So the other day I asked you guys a question. It was best TV programs growing up, including cartoons, soaps, etc. So I will shout out 5 people as always. That's like my safe number. There's a lot. There's a lot here. But obviously I'll give a shout out to. Um, so the first one uh, at Breath of Fresh Friday. So, fellow podcaster, you can check them out if you want to. They said Tracy Beaker. Tracy Beaker.
Come true.
Yeah, that was like my first like show here in when I came to England. I was like, what is
Yeah.
this show everyone's talking about? Tracy Beaker. I actually enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie.
It was really good. And do you remember I forgot. It was like you remember the characters like
Yeah.
so well. Like that when you see them, you're like, oh my days, it's this guy.
Yeah.
And that
Like
curly hair. Is it because she had curly hair and you had curly hair? Is that why?
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, but yeah, each character is like very unique, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's very you can easily like remember them. I also want to give a shout out to at Precious Ben Benekid.
Benny
She said Tracy Beaker as well. So both
Tracy
of them.
Beaker.
I want to give a shout out to Zafara. She mentioned a lot, so I will just show all of them. But the one that I really want to mention is Heroes. Heroes.
Yeah.
The first
Heroes.
episode. It was some for me. It was new. I didn't watch like Smallville or any of those superhero live action. So
Yeah.
Heroes was the first superhero show that I've watched, and I was so amazed. So
I like the special effects, like when she cut off her toe.
when she dropped dead from from the when she fell.
Oh yeah, and then she's like, and then
Yeah.
she was like back to.
I was mortified, but like I loved it. I also want to give a shout out to at Annabelle, the INC. She said Tracy Beaker as well.
Oh.
My third one is at Prabs.
Crabs.
Prabs.
Why do I know that name? Why do I know?
I don't know. He said Digimon.
Oh.
I loved it.
It was always Pokemon versus Digimon, you know.
Yeah, I love both.
Yeah.
So
I love both as well. It's basically glorified Tamagotchi, right?
yeah. The fourth one, I want to shout out Silent Zale. He said Dragon Ball Z, The Last Airbender, and Naruto. So The Last Airbender, I think that was I was more into. I was like older teenager years, I'd say. But it was it's the best show. One of the, yeah. And the last one, I want to give a special shout out to at Tatler, TLR.MNLI. She said Lilo and Stitch, Kim Possible, American Dragon, the OG Disney.
The OG Disney. Oh my days. Kim Possible is my favorite just because she's KP and I'm KP as well. So what's the sitch?
You know what? My mind was blown when I figured out. I was like, Kim, impossible, and then Ron, unstoppable. I was like, what is going on?
And Rufus, naked mole rat.
Yeah.
On my Instagram, I also put up a question for people to answer, and that was, what was your favorite throwback TV show? And then this includes cartoons or soaps. Okay, and I had a lot, so I'm gonna pick 5. But thanks everyone for answering. So my first one, shout out to Melody J. Wait,
let me guess. Either Hollyoaks or Waterloo Road.
No, I see standards, mate. No, I'm joking. It's Charmed. She put Charmed. Do you remember Charmed?
I'm surprised.
That's surprised too. And I think, being a Harry Potter fan that she is, I think witches and stuff would be in her realm. Yeah. So shout out. So hang tight if you guys remember Piper, Prue, Phoebe, and Paige. So those are the 4 witches, and Power of 3 will set us free. And back then, like, the special effects was just lights, just like lights going towards you, like. All right. My next one, I want to give a shout out to my coworker, Jamie Hughes. So he put Hunter x Hunter the original.
Apparently the actual name is Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, is it Hunter x Hunter or not Hunter?
It's not Hunter x Hunter.
I thought it was Unter Unter.
Unter.
Unter
Yeah,
Unter, mate.
I was so mad,
Yeah. And it was I think it's cool knowing that. So, shout out to Jamie and all the NPC
The original
gang.
one.
The original one as
The
well.
original.
So already. Sometimes the original one is better than the remake. So, like Dragon Ball. Okay, for my third one, I want to shout out, let's see, Stop or Jam. So I want to shout out Jam, and she put OG Disney again, Even Stevens and Lizzie McGuire. So
Lizzie McGuire,
if you guys remember, oh man, Hilary Duff, and it was like a, I guess, coming of age story.
And that Filipino girl.
Oh yeah. For number 4, I'm gonna shout out the boy. There's only one model in PMC, and it's not Dre, and it's only Ikai on Twitch. I want to shout out Sven L. So Sven, he put 3. He put Fresh Prince, CSI, and One Tree Hill. So I did start watching the random like OC. I didn't really get into like Gossip Girl because it was really girly, but One Tree Hill was huge, especially for basketball people. And so shout out also Atilele Tirikeli as well, One Tree Hill, because it was like, oh, my Daisy's so cute, Lucas, Chad Michael Murray, Cinderella story,
Chad Michael Murray, yeah.
But yeah, and Fresh Prince, I think that's on everyone's mind. I think everyone knows the intro to Fresh Prince.
Yeah, it's like
this is a story all about how. Yeah, and Will Smith, that's when he got big in it, and in Fresh Prince. So yeah, and you should check these shows out. And then the last one, I'm gonna shout out Isa because she put My Wife and Kids. If you watch that one, that's a funny show as well. I think I've watched all of it as well, and it's really funny. It's like those kind of like Fresh Prince, Moesha, My Wife and Kids, like the black shows, the cool black shows where it's like teaching you stuff, and and it was all about family, and so. I enjoyed that. So, that's a huge shout out, man. Remember Junior. So the character, his name is Junior, and he had a baby and he called it Junior. So it was the Junior, a bit like Calvin Darwin Junior. Shout out Darwin's Kitchen because that's the Darwin Junior. But yeah, thanks everyone. I couldn't, mention you all, but there were some good ones here. But my cousin, he put Gintama as one. My little cousin Aaron, he put Gintama, and I know that you were born way after that. That can't be throwback for you. That's throwback for us.
He was like, throwback, when? Last week? When? Yesterday? When you So for our top recommendation, for those who are new to listening to this podcast, we'd like to recommend anything to you guys. So it can be a show, music, an app. It doesn't have to relate to the topic, but we just like to share something to all of you. So Karl, go ahead with your one.
So for my top recommendation, I wanna suggest it's a YouTuber, and his name is James Matthews. So if you check him out, what he does is he's like I guess from, if you know people like in the UK that are from South and like South London, mate, in Essex, basically. If you know people who talk like that and you just think, only way is Essex and stuff. This guy, he's a filmmaker and he does so many good tutorials, but like he sounds like he's like a Cockney bloke, like he's a builder, but he makes really good content. So James Matthews, check him out. He does like he's a bit. He reminds me of like old Jamie Oliver, but as a filmmaker. So you usually watch people like Peter McKinnon or Casey Neistat, and they talk so eloquently sometimes. But this guy is like bish bash bosh. You only need this lens, mate. You only need this lens. I don't care what it does. Like he's so colloquial and just so like I guess relatable in that sense. Because if you want to do filmmaking and even he teaches you like, oh, basically here's the settings on the phone. Like check him out. He's cool. Yeah, just check out James Matthew. I think I'll link it somewhere.
Yeah, I'll link it. For my one, I actually have two. The first, they're both kind of related. The first one is a website. It's called My 90s TV. It's kind of like how do you say it? It's like a simulation kind of thing. Basically, it's a TV. So I'll show like a photo anyway. But it's a TV, and you have like you click on the remote to change the channel, and on the bottom you can change the years. So you can change 1990 to 1999.
Yeah,
and it will show like it's like a watching TV. You're like a watching TV when you were, let's say, in 1993.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. It's kind of just like just something nostalgia, good nostalgia hit. So I recommend just checking it out. There's also like different style, for example, like My 80s TV. So if you're, I guess, born around that era, then go for
so
it.
you get to see all these like TV. Do they do like 4 episodes?
No, they're just connected to YouTube.
Okay.
But they kind of added like a filter to make it like look really like old in a way.
Like old school TVs.
Old school,
okay.
yeah. So it's really cool. The second one is an Instagram account. It's my good friend Ivan from Australia. It's his art account, so at ivn.psd. So he does animation, and his animation just reminds me of that old school cartoon style. And yeah, I will show like pictures, so I highly check it out. And he often shows his process of animation and his frustration, because I share that frustration with him, because animation is so frustrating. But I highly check him out. But yeah.
Yeah. So for my quote of the week, it was said by well, it's kind of like it was translated from kind of like the Mayan I guess like the Mayan settlers like before. So it goes, if you gaze into the future, you might think life would be a breeze, and life is a breeze. Seeing trouble from a distance, yeah, go Ray, but it's not that easy. Oh no.
Oh no.
So yeah, so what here it's it's basically saying that everything is not that easy, like what it says there. And like you can only look so far. So live in the present day, okay? And that way, you could see trouble from a distance,
So
a bit like Ray?
Who's Ray, the prophet?
I think Ray's the prophet. I think Ray, he might have been very good. He might have even had some kind of power or something to see, but cool.
But it's not that easy. Oh,
yeah.
Love it. I love it. Shout out to those who know. So if you know, you know.
You know. So just put down like the quotes from Prophet Ray.
That's gonna be our hashtag. If you know, you know.
You know.
So that's it for our episode today. I hope you enjoyed our nostalgia, our throwback TV, our experiences, how we grew up with older shows. For the new generation, Gen Zs, tell us your throwback TVs. I would like to know. Maybe it's kind of like the new ones.
Maybe it's different, isn't it?
Hey, guess what my throwback TV is? What's a new show?
I don't know, like like Stranger Things or something.
No, I'm like, nah, bro.
And Game of Thrones, that's what they'd say, I think.
But yeah, so huge thank you to Carl for returning this season,
Glad
and
to be.
never know, he might come back for season 3,
Oh, we
another
got
throwback.
renewal. Throwback.
But yeah, thank you, Carl.
Yeah.
So if you want to give it your shout outs and your social media, then go for it.
Oh yeah. So I want to shout out obviously PMC Gang, if you heard from the previous. And we're looking for more people to play with us as well. Me and Calvin, we stream. Yeah. And I know some of you guys have like suggested games and like, like whatever, Fall Guys and stuff. Just come message us, man. Like Jess, come play.
Yeah.
Come we go. Let's go. Scary games, anything. It could be anything. So just like youtube.com/Poggy May Cry.
Yes.
And yeah, so shout out to the gang. And shout out to also the Barassi gang. You know who you are. He hadn't seen you guys in a long time, So, like Skylar, Leanne, Edward, the pun man, like just all the people, man, you know who you are. And lastly, shout out to on hiatus Jazzberries. Hopefully she's coming back soon. She's disappeared. You don't know. I think maybe the strawberries all went out in winter.
Maybe the strawberries transferred to Animal Crossing. We don't know.
Yeah. If anyone plays Animal Crossing, can you please send her your friend code?
We're looking for players.
Looking for more players to help her build her island. Yeah.
Also,
thank you.
My shout is basically the same. So shout out to PMC. He's like what he said. We're not kind of was that exclusive? We're inclusive. We're inclusive. So if you want to play like Jess,
Zafara.
But yeah, that's it really. So my shout is as always is you guys. So shout and thank you always for participating and supporting the podcast. If you'd like to, oh yeah, your Instagram, go shout out your Instagram.
Oh,
and your Twitch or whatever.
Oh, at KPSMNT. Usually that's what it is, and then the Twitch is KPSMNT_ because someone already took my name, and I will find you. Yay!
And sometimes you do YouTube gaming, right?
Oh yeah. So look out for it. Add me in social media.
Awesome. So if you would like to participate in our audience participation question, or if you just want to have a good chat, then follow me on Instagram at Making Sense with Calvino, or become a listener, patron at patreon.com/Making Sense with Calvino. This will really help the podcast. But yeah, so huge thank you to everyone. And that's it. So thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
That's so Raven.
It's the future.